Hello guys, my name is Yusuf Habibi Herbin. I'm from PLN Institute of Technology Information System. So today I will explain my project Laporan 3 and 4. Let's go. First of all, we import library. Think of libraries like toolbooks. We bring in NumPy for math and arrays, pandas for reading and handling, tables of data, Matplotlib and Seaborn for making charts, and Skitlark for machine learning tools like splitting data and checking result. We also import TensorFlow and Keras. These are the main tools we are used to build and train our neural network. At the end, the code prints the version numbers of TensorFlow, NumPy, and Pandas, so we know everything loaded without any error. Next, load dataset. We use Pandas to read CSV, open our CSV file, and load into a data frame, which is basically a smart table in a Python. After loading, we give each column a clear name so it's easier to read. The code then prints useful info, how many rows and columns we have, how many unique countries are in the data, what years are covered, and the first few rows using head. This step makes sure our data was read correctly before we do anything else. Next, statistic descriptive or EDA. EDA stands for exploratory data analysis. In this step, we explore the dataset to understand what is inside. We check the shape of the data. Look at the first row and check for missing values. This step is very important because messy or incomplete data will cause our model to learn wrong patterns. Reprocessing means getting the data ready, cleaning it, fishing format, and making sure every column is in the right shape. Next, visualisasi EDA. Visualization EDA. We create 4 type of chart here. A histogram shows how the texture values are spread across all rows. A line chart shows how the average text changes from year to year. A box plot helps us spot not outliers value that are very far from the rest. A horizontal bar chart shows the top 10 countries with the highest average to texture. This chart helps us to understand the data before we build the model, so we know what patterns to expect. Next, processing data. First, we remove extreme outlier values that could confuse the model. Next, we use label encoder to turn country names, which are text, into numbers. Because machine learning models only understand numbers, then we create their text categories: low, medium, and high. This become our target or label. After that, we use standard scalar to normalize all the features so every number is on the same scale. Finally, we split data into 72 training and 30 testing using train test split. Next, build neural network model. We use keras sequential model, which means we stack layers one by one. The model has an input layer, then 3 hidden layers that use ReLU activation to learn complex patterns. We also add Bayes normalization to keep the learning stable and drop out layers to prevent the models from memorizing the training data too much. A problem called overfitting. The output layer has 3 neurons with confirmation with softmax activation. Because we are classifying into 3 categories, we compile the model with the Adam optimizer, spare categorical cross-entropy as the loss function, and accuracy as our metric. We then call summary to see full architecture. Next, training neural network. We call model to start training. We call model fit to start training. Before that, we get early stopping, a callback that automatically stop training if the validation loss stops improving for several epochs in a row. This saves time and prevents overfitting. During each epoch, the model looks at the training data, makes prediction, calculates prevent overfitting, calculates how wrong it was using the loss function, and update its weight using backpropagation. We pass in the epoch count, batch size, validation split, and the callback we created. Next, training loss and accuracy chart. After training, we plot 2 graphs. The first graph is show the loss value for both training and validation data at each epoch. If both lines go down together, the model is learning well. The second graph shows accuracy over epoch. If both lines go up together and stay close to each other, the model is generalizing well without overfitting. From our result, the loss went down and accuracy went up, which is exactly what we want to see. Next, evaluate neural network. We run model predict on the test data and compare the prediction to the real levels. We use classification report from skitlearn to get 4 important metrics. Accuracy tells us what percentage of all prediction we are correct. Precision tells us out of all the times the model said this is class 8, how many times was it actually correct. Recall tells us out of all the actual class examples, how many did the model find. F1 score is the balance between precision and recall, useful when the data is not evenly distributed. Next, confusion matrix neural network. A confusion matrix is the table that shows the full picture of our model prediction. The rows represent the actual true class and the column represent the predict class. The numbers on the main diagonal from top left to bottom right are the correct prediction. Numbers outside the diagonal are mistake. A strong model will have high numbers on the diagonal and low numbers everywhere else. We also display a bar chart of the average prediction probability for each class to see how confident the model is. Next, key learning. Next, key learning. We start first by importing the libraries needed for key learning. NumPy is used for matrix operation and fast numerical calculation. We need to build and update the Q table. Pandas is used to display the Q table in a clean table format. Matplotlib and Seaborn are used to visualize the result as a heat map or chart. After all imports are done, the program prints a success message to confirm everything loaded correctly.